Night in the superb career of the wonderful technician Ronald Winky Wright, who continually craves for true recognition and a secure place in boxing's Hall of Fame. He's had to go through the hard way, an uneasy path in unfashionable places to world titles and an appreciated reputation. He's not always been the most popular, pretty or promotable, but stands as one of the real winners in recent years. And he's prepared again, Jim, for the risk and the challenge. A pleasure to see.
Yep, without doubt. When I arrived in Vegas, I had a slight fancy that Winky could maybe pull it off here. But the first time I saw them together was at the press conference. I was really shocked at the difference in size, the way Bernard Hopkins has grown into the weight. I just get the feeling now that this job's going to be a little bit too big for Winky, and the longer it goes, the tougher it's going to get. And he knows he's facing a legend.
Good crowd here inside the Mandalay Bay, which has seen fights like De La Hoya, Trinidad, Barrera Morales, Holyfield Ruiz, Rahman Lewis. Recently we had Marco Antonio Barrera and Juan Manuel Marquez. Top fight earlier in the year. I wonder what we're going to get with these two excellent craftsmen. No one could have predicted that this tearaway and Philadelphian prisoner number 14145, who lost his debut back in October 1988, would be making this his 54th journey to the ring in his 43rd year. It's incredible, really. Bernard Hopkins' name etched forever in the middleweight history books. No retirement yet. Went up to light heavyweight and dismantled the naturally stronger Antonio Tarver. Jimmy said to me this week, Bernard Hopkins, that Father Time had called him up. He told him to get off the phone and never bother ringing back.
Yep, that a bit sums him up. He's an inspiration to every young fighter in the game. Every time we're over here covering other fights, Hopkins is there. We never see him overweight, we never see him out of shape. He's a true professional, 365 days a year, and that's the reason he's still in this kind of shape and in these kind of fights at the age of 42. He's been there, done everything, and he has the confidence of knowing that. He's faced bigger men. Tonight he's facing a smaller man, and he knows how to make physical advantages count. As I say, you don't use the word living legend too often, but fair comment with this man.
And psychologically, he knows how to wind up his opponents, and he's been cranking up the pressure on Ronald Winky Wright all week, saying that he will stop him. He will be the safe cracker to Wright's seemingly impregnable defense. And then he started the melee on the stage at the weigh-in last night. He talked the talk, now he's walking the walk. Is this a mistake? Is he going on too long? Or does he know he's a better fighter than Winky Wright?
Yep, I don't think he'll make a mistake. I mean, he knows he still has lots to offer. I think he will decide when it's time to go. I don't think Father Time will. But he'll really fancy this job, and he knows Winky Wright struggled at middleweight against Jermaine Taylor. Winky Wright refused a $5 million payday for a return match at middleweight. So I can't quite understand why Winky Wright is taking this one. Maybe he thinks a different style of opponent, and maybe he's banking on Hopkins at 42, just falling apart one night. But the closer this gets to the fight, the stronger I fancy Bernard Hopkins. Could be wrong, of course. Two tremendously talented fighters, but I do really fancy Bernard Hopkins tonight.
Looks so much bigger at the weigh-in, but Winky Wright said after the proceedings he John Kaczynski.
But he's not a mover. Jermaine Taylor made Hopkins look bad because he's a mover. Winky's not a mover. He blocks shots, and I think that maybe is undoing. I think you have to move and confuse Hopkins to beat him.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino of Las Vegas, Oscar de la Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions, in association with Winky Promotions, are proud to present the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing recognized by the Bible of Boxing, Ring Magazine, for the light heavyweight championship of the world. Sponsored by Rockstar, party like a rock star. Cerveza Tecate, a beer with an attitude. And Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. Sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission Chairman Dr. Tony Alamo, Executive Director Keith Kaiser. At ringside, the 3 judges scoring this bout on the 10-point system: Glenn Hamada, Dave Moretti, and Glenn Trowbridge. And inside the ring, when the bell rings, your referee in charge, Robert Byrd. And now, for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing gray with blue, official weight 170 pounds. His professional record, 51 victories, including 25 knockouts, with only 3 defeats and 1 draw. From St. Petersburg, Florida, the former undisputed light middleweight champion of the world, the challenger, Ronald Winky and his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing blue, official weight 170 pounds. His professional record, 47 victories with 32 knockouts, 4 defeats, 1 draw, and 1 no contest. From Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the former undisputed middleweight champion of the world, the reigning and defending light heavyweight champion of the world, Bernard, the Executioner Hopkins.
Huge reception for the 2 greats.
Okay, Bernard, Winky, I gave your instructions in the dressing room. The only thing I'm going to say now is when I tell you to stop, what that means is stop whatever you're doing and give me a clean break. Protect yourselves at all times, obey my commands at all times. Mr. Hopkins, Mr. Wright, both of you are world champion caliber professional athletes. I expect you to conduct yourselves that way in this ring and in this fight. Let's do it.
Go. Well, most feel a tactical tussle of sharp moves, feints, and minds is about to unfold, but these 2 are proud, and they promise they'll engage, and after that weigh-in rumble, tension has been running fairly high. The fight's in the light heavyweight division, but made at 12 stone 2. No title on the line, doesn't need it. The size with Hopkins. Right, possibly a touch fleshy on those scales there. Hearts and defenses and chins utterly proven. How will things develop in this marquee match? Hopkins on the offensive.
Yeah, Hopkins getting close earlier than Winky Wright would have liked. Winky trying to make an early impression. I think he realises he must be ahead in points, comfortably ahead in points at the halfway stage, because this is without doubt a job that's going to get tougher as it goes along. Maybe he's setting a pace he doesn't think